Hello and welcome back to the Victor Farmington Library card making class in which we are doing quilling. My name is Angela and this is part 2 of a class that we started last week. Last week I asked you to make 12 white twirls with a full paper, one with a half a paper, three little V's, 16 red full, 6 green halves, and 1 center yellow. And what we're going to make with those are this poinsettia, this poinsettia, and this snowflake. We're going to start with the snowflake first, okay? You're going to take all of your pieces. You take the smallest one. You're going to take the smallest one and put it to the side. The other ones, you're going to find where the end of your quilled paper is. And actually, you're going to pinch it right there so that it looks like a teardrop shape. So go ahead and do that with all of your pieces that you have already quilled up. Just take them and pinch them in. I do hope that you have your glue ready because we're going to be putting this together. Let's just hurry up and pinch them all up. The one small one is not going to be pinched at all. All the rest of them will be pinched. Now, if you like me, they're not made perfectly. They're not all identical. So you're going to kind of divide them up also into the different sizes. Just like that, very easy. Now, if it starts to not be as twirled as you want them to be, just take your fingers and twirl it a little bit. It'll twirl it all up. And then you can go ahead and pinch it, and then you'll have your quilt lacy look. All right, this one's a little bit too heavy too, so I'm just going to quill it up. Get the end of my paper and pinch it right there. All right. Now, if you remember last week, I told you that silicone mat would be ideal for this. This is where it really comes in handy. You're going to take your small round one, your half round, put it on your paper. Take your 6 largest quilled petals, all right, and you're going to glue them very simply all around the round one. You want to make sure when you're making snowflakes that you make them 6-sided. I tried making one smaller, looked terrible. It did not look natural at all. I tried making them bigger, and they were just too big. 6 really is the perfect number. Just gonna put them all out like this. Very simple, nothing hard about this. You did all the hard work over the week. Now, if you wanted to make a flower, you have your flower made. But we're making a snowflake. So the next one, you're going to take your the smaller 6 that you have. You're going to put glue on both sides of it. You take one of these little V's and slide it inside so that it have wings like that.
On the point.
On the point. Okay? Then you're going to take that, put glue on either side. You can use your toothpick or you can just dab it like I do and slide them in between the petals that you already have. Kind of slide these around so that they look nice. The next one you're going to do is not going to have the green or the extra wings. Oops, let me see it so you can see it better that way. So it'll look like that. And you're going to alternate between putting these little V wings on and not putting them on. Whoops, that one slid. Slide it up there. a little bit of a toothpick. Slide it in between those two petals. And you thought this would be hard, huh? That gets slid there. This is the last one that's going to have the little V. And just slide that in right here, like so. A little bit of glue. And then the last piece. I'm just pressing it all down so it's flat. And once it dries, I'll have the snowflake. All right, so let's start with let's do the poinsettia next. We're just going to put this to the side. And I'm very fortunate that I have another one of these mats. If you don't, you can use something like wax paper or parchment paper. That works too. I just find this to work the best. All right, so for our poinsettia, I'm going to be using the center. I'm going to use this center here for the center of the poinsettia, and I'm actually going to put it down. I'm going to pinch all of my pink or my reds the exact same way. So we just take a minute and pinch them all exactly like we did the snowflake. All of them get pinched, including, believe it or not, the green. So we'll pinch them real quick. It'll only take a second. You want to make sure that you put the seam to the point. There it's that. All right, if they don't quill all the way, just twist them up a little bit. This is what we can call just a very therapeutic thing. You have a little frustrating day, just pinch the frustration right out of it. And then when you're done, you'll end up with this beautiful, beautiful poinsettia. Who'd have thought? Very quick, very easy. So if you wanted to make a sunflower instead of a poinsettia, you would still start with the yellow center, or you could use a brown center, and you use 2 different color oranges. And the one layer, bottom layer, could be a darker orange, and the top layer, a lighter orange. That would work out real easy. If you wanted them to be daisies, you could make them white with a little bit of yellow on it. Some people like taking the center part here and making one big circle and then putting a whole bunch of small ones in the center of it. I think that's too much work. So we're going to take, with our poinsettia, we're going to actually take 8 petals around the bottom. So we're just going to go all the way around. You know, when you watch YouTube, this is when they speed things up, but I'm not good at YouTube, so you guys are just going to have to bear with me. But I'll be waiting for you too. Oops. Again, I'm putting the larger ones on the bottom. 2, 4, 6. Oops, I have to have an extra one. I don't want an extra one. Let me change it. I can change it. This one's a fatter one. Just kind of squish them around a little bit so that they're all touching. Then you're going to take your green. You're going to take 3 green. And you're going to put them in between one set of leaves. And I'll hold this up so you can see it better in a second. Like so. All right, and then you're going to take the other set of 3 green leaves, and I actually like putting my leaves kind of askew. I don't want them both sticking out the side like this. I want them kind of sticking like this. If you like to have them spread out this way, feel free to put them opposite each other completely. It's just not the way that I like doing it. All right. So it'll look like this. All right. The last little bit is to take the rest of your reds, and actually this one you want to glue all the way down the whole bottom like that. All right, and you're going to put them in between each of your other petals, like right there. See how I have it in between the 2 petals there? And once you have all that done, you are done with this, and then you just need to let it dry. If you want to put it on a card, you can put it on a card. If you want to use some fishing line, you can make it into a Christmas ornament. You can put it in a window. The shadows from Quilling is beautiful on the floor. It's really an interesting type of spider web that looks like a flower. Very pretty. And this is your poinsettia. Leave it to dry for about 10 minutes and you're done. Well, thank you for joining us. Next week we'll be making more cards. Bye-bye.